I never thought that I would spend my honeymoon in Japan so young, but life has a way of surprising you. Let me show you all the things we did in Tokyo and Kyoto last October, what we visited, our adventures, and life in our honeymoon in Japan. From the moment we booked our tickets, it felt like the start of a dream. Our journey began in Lisbon, connecting through Milan, then Shanghai, before finally touching down in Tokyo. It wasn't the easiest route, but it was the most affordable. We chose to save our money for the real adventure in Japan, and after 11 hours in the air, we finally arrived. Tired but excited. Tokyo welcomed us with its electric and calm energy. We checked into the APA Hotel, a chain that's perfect for travelers, with small, cozy rooms near metro stations, exactly what any tourist needs. And after settling in, I couldn't wait to explore, and Shibuya was at the top of my list. There's truly something magical about Shibuya. It's a place where calm meets chaos. It's the best way to describe it. Shibuya Crossing, one of the busiest spots in the world, somehow feels peaceful and orderly amidst the buzz. We wandered into Don Quixote, a treasure trove of everything imaginable. I couldn't resist picking up some stationery and souvenirs there, and some candy, of course. Japan's convenience stores also became a big part of our trip. A quick meal from 7-Eleven or Family Mart was often just what we needed after a long day of exploring, and we would finish our day in the hotel eating in bed, watching Naruto Shippuden or JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. The next day we went to Asakusa, where I got my first stamp for my junk journal. I took a junk journal to Japan and I did a whole flip through, and I'm going to link here the video and down in the description if you want to watch it. But it was a really cool experience to collect all the souvenirs and stamps around Japan. We explored Asakusa and went into the shrine, and I decided to draw my fortune. And I actually got bad luck, but I tied the little paper onto the racks to cancel it, and so far I'm good. But drawing your fortune at the shrine in Japan, it's another experience. Asakusa was filled with small shops and food stands, each one tempting us to stop and browse, and we actually thought about buying kimonos, but decided against it because we weren't going to wear them at home. So instead, we decided to go to the kanji calligraphy workshop that it was across the street from the shrine. This wasn't actually part of our plan, we just saw the announcement on the window and we went there to do our calligraphy workshop. I was really happy when my husband also decided to join me, and we learned kanji calligraphy in Japan. And I also did a little bit of calligraphy that I normally do on my channel as a souvenir to the people at the workshop. On this trip, I tried Wendy's for the first time, and it was actually really good. It's like a better fast food chain, I would say. And then we spent the evening playing with claw machines in Ikebukuro, and my husband actually got a figure in one of these machines. There is something really attractive to these claw machines, but I prefer to actually spend my money on normal figures, and I actually didn't bought one. I wanted to buy this cat Orochimaru figure, but I didn't, and I'm still regretting it. Then it was time to leave Tokyo and go to Kyoto. The train ride was unforgettable. Mount Fuji made a stunning appearance in our ride, and I used this time to just update my junk journal. It was around this time when we landed in Kyoto that I started feeling unwell and a bit sick, but I still wanted to spend the day doing the activities that we had planned. So we went to the samurai experience in Kyoto because it was already booked, and I made it through the whole experience, even though I was a bit sick, but it was really, really worth it. If you come to Kyoto, this is one of the things that I highly recommend you to try, because you learn how to hold a katana and how they work with a katana, and you get dressed as a samurai, and the whole experience is really interesting. And you also learn about the history of samurais if you are into that type of thing. After that, we went into the Airbnb and I started feeling very, very sick, and that's where I decided to go to the pharmacy and get some medicine and some cold patches, and I actually got a fever of 40 degrees, which is too much. I was feeling really, really hot and sick and my eyes were burning, so I think I got COVID in Japan. And so I just got a cold patch and I took some medicine, and I was watching Mr. Ballin's video with my husband in bed for the rest of the day. It was a bit unfortunate that this was happening in Japan, but by the next morning I felt much better, and it was just in time for us to visit the bamboo forest. Walking through the towering bamboo surrounded by its calm energy was truly magical, and we also joined a stamp rally across the forest in nearby shrines, collecting every stamp we could find. My husband even ran back to the entrance of the forest to grab the one that we had missed so we could get a tote bag. After this, we ate at a traditional Japanese restaurant and we went to Fushimi Inari, and there was where we got matching chopsticks engraved with our names. This was the only customizable souvenir that we got, but it's one of the things that I highly recommend if you come to Japan, is to get your name engraved in chopsticks. Fushimi Inari was full of people, but it was really nice to see the 1,000 portals and all the culture and everything around this place, so I really enjoyed it. And at night, we actually decided to attend the Night Parade of 100 Demons, which is a Halloween event in Kyoto. We were really excited to see it because it's an event for Halloween and we love horror, but the overcrowded venue made it really hard to see anything, so we just saw some of the monsters at the end. It was really not worth it. Still, it was an experience, and I added another stamp to my journal on this little venue. I was really sad that we had to leave Kyoto to go back to Tokyo, but it is what it is, and I really want to see Kyoto again in the future. But back in Tokyo, we discovered the Tokyo View floor at Sunshine City Mall in Ikebukuro through TikTok. We saw on TikTok that if you go to the 6th floor on the Sunshine City Mall in Ikebukuro, you can actually get a very panoramic view of the city of Tokyo, and it was actually less crowded and more affordable than the way to the Sky Tree. So this is something that I highly recommend you to go if you want to have this view and you are in Tokyo. We are both afraid of heights, so it was a little bit of a challenge to take photos and everything, but it was really worth it. At this floor you also have some spots to take photos and a little garden that you can lay down and rest, and it was a really nice end of the day experience. On our last day in Tokyo, we returned to Shibuya for a bit more arcade fun and last-minute shopping at Don Quixote. We didn't spend a lot of money on arcade games, but they were really fun, and we went to Don Quixote one last time to bring any souvenirs that were missing. The next day, we hopped on the train and left to go home, and looking back, Japan was everything I dreamed of and more. Kyoto didn't treat me that well because we were both sick when we returned to Tokyo, but it was really worth it. The long flights were worth it for the moments of joy and wonder and everything that we faced in Japan, and there's so much more to explore in this beautiful country that I know I'll be back one day to dive even deeper into this incredible country. Thank you so much for joining me on this summarized journey, and I'll see you in my next video.